He's gonna get finished this week, he's gonna get down here. That's been my complaint with the DOT. When there are issues with our work, they have all kinds of non-compliance and procedures they can follow. Where do we go when their poor quality of plans drags our subcontractor out for 2 months instead of 1? And that's where we're at. You know, we've been doing work for the city of Humboldt for well over 40 years. This is the first time we've had an issue like this. And we work in well over 100 towns a year. We couldn't have had this happen in a worse place for us.
No, it looks.
Or us.
No, no.
Exactly.
You know, but this is why, this is what's nice is you're here tonight to explain to the public that's watching or whatever, what's going on, because call after call, you know, I say, hey, they're tied up somewhere else, they're still gonna get here, they'll be here next week, well, then it drags out for another week.
And things keep coming up, and I talked to Bruce before the meeting, and Bruce has informed the DOT, they keep wanting to make changes and do this and do that, and he informed them today, any changes from here on, you put on the punch list. We'll deal with it in the spring. We're not dealing with it anymore this fall. We're moving on. So.
Is there still hope that we can get what we got torn
Oh,
up?
Bruce, he said he thought a week's time would make most of this stuff done.
Really?
Yeah, so by the end of next week, he should have, and then watching the weather, he's gonna tear out one at a time and put it back. So, no, he said he thought in a week's time, he'll have most of this stuff finished and buttoned up.
He's still gonna continue tearing stuff out,
Depending on weather, but then he'll tear one out at a time,
Okay.
tear it out, put it back.
but he's gonna get everything that's tore out done first?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything
All
that's
right.
out will be put back, and he thought a week's time would make that look pretty small.
Okay.
I guess I want to point out, Bob has kept a diary for years on the weather. And this year, starting July 1st until today, we lost 32 days due to rain. Because everybody, I think the bridge sort of proves that. Just a lot of things worked against us here. Like Bob said, it's the worst damn place that would have happened. We apologize. That's all I can say.
We feel bad about it, and
Yeah, I think most of it is communication. We just need to keep the lines of communication open. And because people know, if they have some kind of an answer, I think now we've got an answer, you know, that there's other issues going on, but.
and he pulled off of this and coming back to this. It's just where we went on that one isn't getting finished, and it's all because of the poor quality of plans. Every elevation and grade they provided, you have 40 intersections up there, every one was wrong. Every one had to be sighted in and engineered as he went. I was up there last week meeting with him. There's a homeowner that's upset because he met with the DOT last fall. He's got a retaining wall. They promised him they would do what he wanted. Bruce got into the report of sidewalk last week, and it's not what he wanted. And that brought everything to a screeching halt again. And we're fighting that every day, and it's because they haven't followed through. They did not provide us with a quality set of plans. And those issues aren't settled yet either. So.
And it's not the first time we've seen this with sidewalks on these DOT projects either. I mean, we've experienced this.
These ADA things are getting difficult. At one time, the DOT was letting them separate, but I think now they're almost tying them in because
Purposefully, yep.
we can kind of call on some favors from these guys to get them to look at these projects that they won't look at. Bruce had no interest in looking at this by itself. Based on some of the other things we did, he came in to do it. The one in Sway City, he only did it because it was the only bid we got. We asked him to take a look at it. People don't want to do this because the people out of Des Moines or Ames will come through. That one in Spencer last year, they made him tear them out twice because the slopes were off a little bit. And there's no, on these ADA specs, there is no close. It's either right or you tear it out and do it again.
Wow.
And he does a good job. I mean,
He's very
Bruce
good.
does a really good job. That's,
Well, and we understand, it's just
Yeah.
Aaron has caught a lot of heat on this.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, and I-
it's, you know, that's what we feel bad about,
Yeah.
is that.
Everybody in the office is cutting.
Yeah,
it.
yep,
I mean,
yep.
Gloria,
Anybody who answers the
Sarah,
phone.
Carrie, you pick up the phone, and you have to understand how incredibly irate people are. I mean, comments on Facebook about it. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. It is nasty, and I understand it's a difficult situation, but you just have to really understand that I've been passing along the information you've given to me, which is next week, next week, next week, next week. And so now,
And
you know, I
that's-
told the council this several times. We've had 3 or 4 meetings in a row where I've said, you know, it'll be next week, and so.
And every time something comes up, it drags it out.
Yeah.
Making changes, adding on, redoing this. I was up there, there was a sidewalk that's a block long. Typically, when you pour a sidewalk, you come in one day and you pour the sidewalk. He's got this sidewalk broke into about 10 pours because of elevation changes because of the ADA panels.
Wow.
And nothing square. He's got triangles all over getting his slopes into these ADA panels.
So this is gonna be an ongoing situation in the future, probably.
It is. The ADA, it is handicapping all of us. They have got so much power and so much control, and it's difficult.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and
Yes.
explaining it to us. At
Thank
least
you.
now we're armed and we know what's going on, and
And we feel worse about it than you guys do, because it's still our name out there, and,
So Wednesday, Aaron can call again if Bruce isn't here.
no, Bruce, I talked to Bruce before, he said he'll definitely have people here forming on Wednesday.
What's that, Wally?
I said, Aaron can call if Bruce isn't here on Wednesday anyway, so. You guys are on TV now anyway, so.
we'll send the sheriff up there.
So will the grass seeding be done in the spring then, or?
Grass seeding will be done in the spring.
Yeah, where are we at on the storm sewer work for Jetco? Because that was kind of.
Getting additional numbers
I'm still waiting for,
from Reddy's?
yes.
Okay. I can talk to John a little bit.
Because that's been another issue. I know, you know, Jetco's been waiting.
Yeah,
trying
I
to
know,
get that
I
done.
talked with John last week, and he was getting things together, but he didn't have them yet when I talked to
Yeah,
him.
and we've just been getting some numbers from him too, so.
Okay.
We know we've been on the same boat as everybody else, so.
So
We'll find it.
that's probably not a possibility for this year then, or it still is a possibility for this year?
I'm not sure what his schedule is, it's all gonna depend on weather. You know,
Yeah.
we've had-
And if he's got something in the area and we can fit it in, but I can give him a call, give John a call too. and find out.
So there are- What's our other option?
We're looking at some other work for
To get
Jet
other bids?
also. weather
Oh,
dependent,
okay.
I don't
so.
think.
Okay.
No, okay. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
We need a motion to approve then.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater?
Aye.
Scholl?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the final proposed resolution number 2014-124. A resolution approving pay estimate number 2 from Sand Construction and Supply Company of Humboldt, Iowa, in the amount of $23,087.63 for the Humboldt Municipal Airport Conventional Hangar Building Construction Project.
The project's on schedule. The building should be arriving soon. Pad is poured and ready for the structure, and it appears as though we'll be able to hit the time frame for accommodating Mid-American's helicopter, which that helicopter will pay for nearly all the city's share of the local match. So it's a pretty good deal if we can get them in there. So important to make that time frame, and it looks like Sand's gonna.
Don't say if. Hopefully it's done in time.
How many construction projects have we done now?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Scholl?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Slater?
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the final proposed resolution number 2014-125. A resolution authorizing the submittal of the attached 5-year capital improvement program for the Humboldt Municipal Airport, the Airport Improvements Program data sheets for possible fiscal year 2016 through 2020 Federal Aviation Administration grants, and certifying that the required local match is available for each program awarded a grant.
This sheet identifies several projects for the upcoming federal fiscal years. However, the snow removal equipment is the only significant commitment because the other projects can be shuffled in the out years. And even the identification of the snow removal equipment is can also be moved. And one of the conversations I had with Bill Gravy with Clapsaddle Garber was, you know, looking at a tight budget year coming up, considering a lot of costs that we'll have to be able to cover. There's a chance that we might not have that extra 10 grand to cover the local match on the 10%, in which case, you know, maybe need to shuffle that down the road. And if that's the case, he said that's fine. It's not a problem to move that down the road if need be. So it does identify projects, but you're not held to anything. You know, once we go through the budget process, we can decide what gets funded and what doesn't.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Scholl.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-126. A resolution approving pay estimate number 7 from Albertson Smith Construction Company of Ida Grove, Iowa, in the amount of $70,589 for the Sumner Avenue Bridge Replacement Project.
Well, Pier 4 is finally coming together after a redesign and several rounds of problem solving. The contractor is optimistic that the deck can be poured this year. However, any chances of the bridge being open are lost at this point. It will be closed over the winter. There's just no way they can make it. The redesign took an extra few days and eliminated what some hope existed for getting the bridge open over the winter. The crew will continue to work until weather forces them to shut down until spring. Hopefully they can get quite a bit done so that, you know, depending on how much time we lose in the spring, you know, if we have another late spring, you could lose a lot of time. So
At least water won't affect us.
yeah, we'll be out of the
Right.
water.
Or windows.
Yeah, minnows, or the minnows, correct, yeah.
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote.
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Scholl.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-127. A resolution appointing city officials and representatives of various city boards and commissions.
This is another interesting one. Jim Mertz, Carrie, the administrative assistant in City Hall here, her husband has asked to be on the Zoning Board of Adjustment. The board has been short a member for quite a few months now, and the board is an important board to keep a quorum on because the answer for applicants variances must be in a responsible time frame to comply with state law. He's an electrician with Humboldt. He's lived in the community for several years. He has no real estate background, which is important because the state limits how many real estate professionals can be appointed to the board. This is, if you remember, my wife serves on this board now. Jim will serve on the board. It's a matter of trying to find people to keep a quorum, because if we can't respond to people, it delays their building permits, and it's really unfortunate. So I was very happy that Jim was willing to step forward and serve on the board.
To approve. Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater.
Aye.
Scholl.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-128. A resolution authorizing construction of a low-pressure sanitary sewer extension, awarding a contract for the project.
This project would use extra TIF dollars from the water tower project to run a sewer from the water tower to the manhole next to Liguria. The project was already sent out for proposals and received responses back from 3 companies. North Central Iowa Service was the lowest cost company at $26,579.50. The project is a 2-inch low-pressure main, and this actually came in under what the engineer's estimate was. The improvement will facilitate 2 projects. MS & Sons is expanding their office building, and Midas is looking at building a bus barn at the water tower. This is kind of an interesting solution that David put together. Do you want to just give a quick rundown? 'Cause
Sure.
It's kind of it's something we don't have in town yet, is these like low pressure kind of.
Yep, and really what you're doing is you're doing a collection system to avoid having to put in a gravity system, and you'd like to put in a gravity system, but it can't be served because it's gonna be too shallow. So then really what you're avoiding is a large lift station. Lift station costs are typically range in the hundreds of thousands of dollars just for the lift station, and then you have to put in the force main. So what this is it's a small low pressure line that will be then directional drilled in front, just like you do a gravity collection system, and then it'll have service lines just like really a water pressure line would have, where there's a service line with a curb stop that you can shut off. and it serves kind of just like that. But what the people will then have to do is they will have to have their own pumps. So they will have a grinder pump or a septic effluent pump right there, and usually be a grinder pump. It's small, and then they can put that in there and attach right to that line, and it'll pump right into that force main, which will dump into your gravity system. It really puts the fact that you have to actually have a pump back on the actual people that are wanting to be served by a hard to serve area. So you don't have to put in a lift station. We've done them in numerous locations. We do even specify right on the plans an acceptable pump that would be used for that grinder pump. And then at the end of the actual low pressure line, since it will be at an angle actually going in the opposite direction, there is actually a clean out that they can attach to, and they can blow it out into the gravity system. So it can actually be cleaned too, by just air or by water adding in and then pressurize it. So.
Is this like what Challenge had years ago?
Yeah.
That line that came in from their plant all the way down.
They had a grinder, yep.
It's still
Low.
low or doesn't go
No.
anymore? No.
They don't use those anymore. So, yeah, similar concept, much
Right.
shorter run.
Yep. It's a fairly short run, and you have the ability, you know, that realistically all you have to maintain is just like a gravity system. You have to maintain your main, and that's all the line that we're installing here. And then if they just come off like just a water service line, you can actually turn the curb stop and shut them off. And the one will be shut off until it's connected. So.
Is it just a 2H?
HDPE line. Yep.
Okay, just
Yep.
Plastic, okay.
Yep. We're actually, one's getting installed by the contractor that was second showing construction. They're installing one today in Alta. I mean, you'd like to go with everything gravity, but it's something that it's a lower cost alternative to putting in a lift station.
And the
Yep.
manholes are very shallow. I mean, the depth is just very shallow at that part of town. And so
Yeah.
it's-
This will dump right into the manhole then?
Yep. Yep.
And so MS currently uses, there's a manhole to the north of that intersection
Yes.
that MS uses for their truck wash and everything else. And this would just merely serve the office, the new construction, the office building that Jensen Romack are working on.
David, I did notice on NCIS's original bid on that,
Yep.
they had an asterisk by the boring estimate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but, so they had a contingency built in if they have more expense for the boring.
I
then-
think what they called and they said the one thing that they wanted to do